I'm making a video. Surprise, surprise. Surprised me anyway. So I figured I'd read comments. What the hell. So there are going to be some of them on different subjects, but I don't care. Who cares? Just be done with it. Karen Koda, forget about it, crazy person. I think people recognize the problem of the dollar, but there has yet to be a good alternative available. So this guy just does all this crap on the economics video. You're not even getting it. There's no problem with the dollar, okay? They haven't printed money. All inflation that we've had since 1980 can be demonstrated. The line of how much currency is in circulation and the line of inflation are exactly the same line, okay? So all inflation is really created by is when they actually print real currency and put it into circulation, extra currency. So when they increase the amount of currency in circulation, that's all the inflation that ever existed. That's how it turns out, right? It's that simple. And so they haven't printed money. They've borrowed money. So the extra money in circulation isn't real money. It's bank digits. The banks have bought stuff with their fake money on the protection that the government's going to pay them the money when the bill comes due, or if the bill comes due. If the money is ever needed, the government's going to provide it. That's what the reserve accounts have $5 trillion in them. $5 trillion is because that's really the bankers' money. They just can't have it, okay, technically. It's not really theirs until the Fed says it's okay. And they can't ever say it's okay because then it'll be printed money. So if it leaves the reserve accounts, then it's printed money. Get it? Then the dollar's fucked. So it's not the dollar that's bad. It's the liabilities on the dollar that are bad. Those liabilities, when they come due, that's when the dollar turns to shit. It really is Germany, whatever, 1929 all over again, or whatever it was, 1915, or whatever the First World War is over. I mean, it's going to be all this hyperinflation crap because they won't be able to pay any of the bills. All the liabilities are going to be sitting there, and all they're going to have as a last resort to do is print money. And so there'll be hyperinflation to destroy the value of the money because there's no way to pay the bills with real money, so you have to pay it with inflated money, valueless money. So yes, we'll owe some billionaire, $10 billion. And what we'll give him is $10 billion that'll be worth 58 cents. Sorry, allergy troubles. I had to work outside today. I mean, I've never really had allergy troubles, but man, today this is just brutal. It's supposed to be something that happens with age sometimes. Anyway, fuck. Question: what is knowledge? Where does it come from? It's just a stupid question. So he gets into a conversation with some idiot and blah blah blah. But it's just it's just stupid. Knowledge is a description of reality, an accurate description of reality. That's a piece of knowledge. Okay, so accurate descriptions based on language that is a symbolic representation of identity. So we find an identity in the universe, a thing, we give it a name, and then we describe other things by using the names we've created, like wet. Not complicated. Shelley F. Fuck you. Threatening to sue a website because they will not accept a non-peer-reviewed paper is just plain silly. To argue that all the papers on Wikipedia have been peer-reviewed is silly, first off. To say that the subjects have even had, every included article element has been peer-reviewed by somebody is silly. Who peer-reviewed Richard Feynman's critique of Lesage gravity? No one. It was a silly critique. I've critiqued it. I mean, I've peer-reviewed it and said it's a piece of shit. But yeah, no one bothers explaining how maybe he's full of shit, right? But anyway, the point is the category was called non-mainstream links, so you're just a liar, right? And every other website in the category was not peer-reviewed. Every single one was not peer-reviewed. All 9 links were not peer-reviewed anywhere. So why? What are you, just a liar? What you can't get it right? I mean, I said it in the video. It's clear. I'm not suing because of that. I'm suing first because some asshole accused me of doing something disreputable and nasty, and I didn't do it. And he said I did do it, and he was lying about me. And because the whole fucking gang is out of control. But you didn't follow that along? You just have to lie? You know like liars get? They get blocked. That's what liars get. So yeah, you can go fucking shove your fucking bulldog up your ass until dead. Ugh. No activity. No, I won't bother sending a message. Here's my message. I fart in your direction. Can't really get a fart going at the moment, but yeah, fuck you. Anyway, thumbs up. Let's destroy nutcase, misogynist, self-proclaimed. Oh, okay, that's Stephen Molyneux. Who can? I won't bother with that. Holiday. Oh, Jesus. World of difference between demanding they change their website or undertake some other action. Well, that's kind of vague. And if not, I'll sue, and asking for a clarification of a point expressed and giving them the benefit of pointing out to the legal ramifications if they do want to hold that position. Well, you say there's a world of difference. I've explained in the video what the point was. The point is their policies are fundamentally unconstitutional. I think if it went to the Supreme Court would say you can't have on a public accommodation argument, much like the civil rights movement. You can't be an institution of public accommodation, which Wikipedia technically is, because it's essentially the dominant player in a limited pool. So there's no other encyclopedia you get to go to, and it's the #1 link in Google all the time, right? So if Google links to some other encyclopedia as the #2 result, well then maybe there's some hope. But right now there isn't. It's a monopoly. And so as a monopoly, they have certain obligations under public accommodation law. Principle, let's call it a principle. Principles of public accommodation. And they're not allowed to have policies where you give away your constitutional rights. And they couldn't possibly have a policy that would prevent you from obeying law. So I explained it in the video. You couldn't understand it? It was too complicated for you? It's a stipulation of copyright law. You must inform somebody that they're violating the law. You have to inform them as part of your fulfilling the legal requirements. They've basically told people you can't do that. You can't satisfy legal requirements. They can't prevent you from satisfying the legal obligations of the law, of fucking federal and state statutes. You couldn't understand that point? So what's the big difference? The difference is they're violating the law. I'm claiming they're violating the law. You don't understand that they're not you think they're allowed to have any kind of, like say if I was an employer, I could have employees sign a waiver. Okay, no workman's comp. You're not covered by all OSHA, all the workman protection laws. You can't do that as an employer. It's against the law. Idiot. Okay, you have to clarify. No, I don't. Because legally, at least here in the UK, anything that can possibly be expression of opinion and not a direct misstatement of a truth about states of affairs would not be libel. Well, here, all you need is maliciousness, okay? If it's wrong and you're malicious, you're done. You're cooked under the law. All right? So if your intent is not the truth, but your intent is to hurt somebody, and you know what you have is no evidence, then you're going to be guilty of fucking libel because of your motives. So in this case, it'd be very easy to prove motive because they're obviously all a gang with axes in their hand trying to kill me because I'm the bad guy saying, I'm not going to accept your fucking bend over and let me stick my dick in your ass rules. Anyway, so just be an asshole. Go. Typical holiday. You know, again, I don't know why he thinks he's entitled to use Columbo's image. I mean, really. There's absolutely nothing about you that reminds me of Columbo. Nothing. Okay, what barrier would you suggest for a theory to have a wiki page? Anyway, I'm not suggesting it should have a wiki page, but actually, in this argument, but actually 15 years ago, I did suggest that. I suggested that very thing. I suggested every fucking website on the internet, every domain name has a whois page on it. And I suggested that all metadata and everything else be stored on that page as information about the website. So essentially it would be a wiki, and that the only violation you could commit was to post something that was not true. And if you did that, then you lost your right to post. Okay, so as soon as you would gain credibility by making honest edits, and as soon as you made edits proven to be untrue, then you would lose editing ability. But yes, there would be a wiki page for every page on the internet. The internet can be as big and massive. There's no end to how much data you can store on it, idiots. Too many links is an impossibility, theoretically, as long as they're organized. And again, we're talking about links on the bottom of a page. The very bottom of a page. Even if you put the links on a separate page, would that satisfy you? Here's the encyclopedia page. Here's a link to what we think might be interesting links on the subject. You don't think that would be a good idea for an encyclopedia? Here's all the content we decide to leave out because we called it a blog or we called it a personal page. Because we arbitrarily said that doesn't count because some jackass who didn't go to college didn't write it. So therefore it doesn't have any merit. So, what's your argument here? Too many links bad? I just think that's idiotic. Yeah, that's what I think that is. Too much information bad? No, no such thing. It's the internet. It can be prioritized. Again, it was a subcategory on the bottom of the page. So don't even try to be honest to the conversation, right? Don't even try. Another liar. Great. Oh, come on. If they put every crockpot theory on the links, then there would be just links and you couldn't see the woods for the trees. So the whole article is prioritized. You have to go all the way past the footnotes to find this subcategory, and you're complaining that you can't see the article because there's 10 fucking links at the bottom of the page to relevant content where people are defending the thing they've hatchet jobbed and said is pseudoscience. They haven't proven it's pseudoscience. There's no evidence that it's pseudoscience. There really isn't. The heat argument I've explained it. There is no heat argument. And the momentum argument I explained. Feynman's throwaway critique was a throwaway critique. His argument was, well, if you're running in the rain, more rain's going to hit you in the face. That's how he deals with nuclear physics, is to talk about rain. You don't see a problem there? So another just douchebag comment. Way to be a douchebag. You know what? I think I'll block you too, because you're just too much of a fucking asshole. Oh, come on. Every crackpot. You have any evidence it's crackpot? None of these people should exercise any kind of judgment like where they actually say, I understand this subject and I can tell the difference between something that's well written and it covers all these bases and something that doesn't. You think they should all be censored, right? Censorship good. Fuck you. Alright, so Gleno says, geez, how many times does it need to be explained that it was a non-mainstream link? It doesn't need to be explained. They're just compulsive liars. Okay, so actually 6 out of 8 links were written 6 out of 8, so now that's even funnier. Were by people with far more scientific credentials than... Yeah, having far more scientific credentials than me isn't very hard considering all I did was graduate from fucking high school. And I failed physics, technically. Well, technically I didn't fail it because I fought it, but I mean the fucking professor tried to fail me. And I appealed and said he's full of shit because he's a little bow tie wearing nerdy little motherfucking cunt. And yes, everybody looked at him and said, yes, it's true. He is a bow tie wearing little nerdy motherfucking cunt. So yes, you're right. He is a putz. Anyway, so again, so now you're going to measure credentials as if Einstein really had huge credentials when he wrote his papers. See, this is the irony, right? Einstein wouldn't have gotten anywhere either, because there is no mechanism to recognize anything. If it wasn't for, it was Schrodinger or Planck, one of those two. If it wasn't one for what those two guys showed up and said, hey, look, this guy's, Einstein's got something going here, nobody would have paid any attention, right? Nobody paid any fucking attention. And it wasn't until one of the heroes of physics saved Einstein's ass that Einstein had the chance to prove his theory. But he didn't really prove it, because the whole lensing thing is just fucking wrong. But anyway, and then they all fit in the same format of being text articles rather than 40 hours of unreviewed videos. Again, they're unreviewed videos. This is irrelevant. All these articles are unreviewed, so this unreviewed thing is meaningless. Okay, the fact that it's in video format, the postulates are written. Okay, the basic statement outlining what the theory is going to prove is written. It's just the proof that's in the 40 hours of video. And you don't need 40 hours. You just watch 1 hour of the right video. That's one of the overview videos, and you're going to get it. But it doesn't really matter. So this is just bullshit. And yeah, does it count as it? And they say original research. That has to do with the people writing the articles. Don't you understand? So you don't understand shit. Here you work at fucking Wikipedia because you just made this account, and you don't even understand original research. Original research means if you're writing the article paragraphs, you know, the paragraphs that are the article, those shouldn't contain original opinion or thought or any expression. You should source it from somebody else who has it publicly published somewhere. All right, my website is publicly published. It's about as public as you can goddamn fucking get. It's about as countable as you can goddamn get. It's about as accessible as you can goddamn get. People can leave comments in my fucking videos, okay? Unlike all these other people. So if they have some critique, they can provide it. All right, well, you can't do that on any of these other guys' articles. So this is being a text article. It's 2015. Are you going to argue that it's not publishing when something's in video? You really that fucking retarded? Anyway, so Gleno says, but that's not the criteria but which they removed the minimum link, right? They removed it because it was a personal place blog, which it obviously isn't. If the editor had removed the link, citing a policy of minimum credentials, and was able to prove Inventum didn't meet the minimum requirements, it would be a different story. It'd be different, but I don't know if it really would be different. But anyway, fine. But yeah, that's true. But I don't think this idea of minimal credentials means anything anyway. But anyway, the fact is the page, the substances of the arguments on the page are no different, except I'm right and they're full of shit. Alright, personal web pages, worldwide web pages created by an individual to contain content of a personal nature. So these guys don't know what personal nature means. This page was created by himself and contains solely his personal opinions. Yeah, so content of a personal nature is your personal opinions. It's not about personal stuff about your life. Even though I've already demonstrated that even by Google search results, that no, that's not the definition. Okay, the personal websites are not personal opinion sites, they're personal expression sites. I can also see a clear resemblance between his page and a blog. Well, you can see it, I can't see it. Such as being updated regularly with new entries. No, that's not really updated with new entries in the sense that the new entries are on one single subject and are merely responses to what is the little peer review I'm getting. His is just in video format and is therefore a vlog. It's not a vlog, okay? It's a treatise. It's a defense. It's nothing less than The Origin of Species as a document. Would you call The Origin of Species a vlog or a blog? Was Darwin blogging? I mean, it's an argument in defense of a theory. Don't you understand? I mean, are you really this fucking stupid? You don't understand an argument in defense of a theory is not a blog? It therefore seems to fit the definition from Wikipedia that I posted above. No, it doesn't. I mean, you're just, it's just so full of, I mean, I can't say anything, but what? You think that's a convincing argument? You think it's rational? Even if you disagree with that interpretation, it is clear that the administrators, well, who the fuck does that care, who have far more experience than you or I, no, I'm sorry, they don't have more experience than me, actually. I had conversations with this guy when Wikipedia was still in diapers, okay? So don't fuck you about experience. With intricacies of Wikipedia, quickly labeled as being a personal site, so I would wager that they are correct. Well, you can wager it and you'll lose your money, so I guess I'll take that wager, actually. Let's go get a real good, hard scientific opinion based on surveys of hundreds of people. Let's go out and survey hundreds of people and ask them what they think a personal web page is. From what I saw, the editors removed it by basis of being a personal page as well as lacking credibility. Well, it doesn't matter why they removed it. Clearly, when I put it in the index, the other 8 links, just like mine, okay, were in the index. So I didn't do anything wrong by what the definition of that category was when I showed up. Obviously, the definition of a good link in that category was completely different the day before I got there than the day after I got there. So the definition changed after I showed up. Correct? After I posted my link is when the definition of what the category should contain changed. Is that true or not true? 80% of the links in the category were removed after I posted a link. Doesn't that mean something to you, you fucking skanky piece of shit? Oh, man. Unreviewable videos. How are they unreviewable? You just keep lying. Alright, everything is... Oh, this stupid idiot. Everything is a personal page opinion until it has been peer reviewed. Well, that's an idiotic standard then. Then 95% of what's on the internet is fucking a personal page. That's life. Get the thing reviewed. Problem solved. I mean, that's just so glib. Fuck you. We'll remove that one. Really. Shove that little creepy dog up your ass until dead. Thanks for this. You earned a new sub. I wasted hours listening. Oh, it's a Stefan Molyneux thing again. I know the guys at Wiki are monitoring these videos because, okay, I already read that, I think, on one of the other videos, right? What's the name of the Wiki monitor that removed Gary's stuff? Whatever, I don't know, but it's not like they removed my stuff, okay? It was just one link in a category. I said sometimes the people who are on your side really aren't on your side. You've got to have some fairness. How else would you spot a lie? I don't know, top 10, I don't know. The truth is out there and probably sucks, but I did like this video. I don't know what that means either. Walter the crazy fuck. This ought to be good. I would like to point you in the direction of the terms of use page for Wikipedia. Oh, okay, great. Which clearly states, under the following conditions, responsibility. You take responsibility for the edits, since we only host your content. I don't even know what that means. Since we only host your content. Well, I don't even know what that means. Obviously, I'm taking responsibility for my link, my edit. Civility. You support a civil environment and do not harass other users. How exactly to harass anybody? I asked a motherfucker a question. Why did you remove that link? And then he said, because it's a personal site. And I said, that's a ludicrous statement. You understand that, right? That's ludicrous. And then he trashed me. Well, he trashed me first, but I'm not going to argue it. Lawful behavior. You do not violate copyright or other laws. Well, you clearly can violate copyright law at Wikipedia because you can't comply with copyright law by informing somebody that they're violating your copyright. Because if you do that, you're legally threatening them. So that doesn't even make any sense. No harm. You do not harm our technology or infrastructure. Where have I done that, asshole? I mean, are these accusations, Jack Walter? Which one of these do you say I violated, shithead? Retard, liar. Terms of use policy. You adhere to the below terms of use and to the applicable community policies when you visit the site or participate in our communities. Well, what's the point of saying you adhere to the below terms of use and the applicable community policies when you have 7,678,453 community policies? You really think anybody's going to read all those policies? And do you think anybody would even imagine that you would have some idiotic policy where somebody can violate your rights and you're not allowed to say, you violated my rights, I think I would like to sue you? Again, bigger question is, why are the editors digging it, dragging this out in drama and LOLs? Ergo dickery. Second, it's a supposed disproved theory, and all he did was add his science site as a link in some offbeat section on a non-mainstream. Again, how is that wrong too? Second, as someone else mentioned, no one complained about what... Oh, we're not going to talk about Luddite. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it's just gangs, and that's all this is. This is just the streets of New York or something. This is just gang warfare. It really should be RICO regulated, because they're just gangs. I want to believe you, but how do I know you're not lying? That's the top 100 facts again. I don't know. Why you gotta write 3 comments on one video, jerk? I really hate that shit. Inventor of Harvest. I'm not a wiki editor. Well, you're some kind of editor somewhere, because there's just no way you could be siding with this nerdy, purdy, idiotic, insane definitions of reality. I simply was pointing out the parts of the document that you skipped over. I didn't skip over them. I'm just saying it's quite... I already know what a personal website is. I already know what the intent of it is. And I read the fucking document. If you read the fucking document, it's clear. They're saying, look, it's if a guy has a personal page, like especially a celebrity or something, you might be able to glean some information off that page, but they're not really information pages, and so they're not really great sources of information for you to write as verbatim. You know, you're not supposed, you shouldn't write paragraphs about what the truth is based on what you read on somebody's personal page. Over, because they did not fit with your narrative. Now, you're the one who's ignoring the fucking goddamn explicit first, the beginning of the fucking goddamn statement defining a personal web page, which clearly implies it's the intent of the page to be about somebody's personal life. GeoCities sites are still personal web pages. It doesn't matter who hosts the website. Well, somebody else will say different. Just who creates it. Again, if you're going to call every website, like I said, every scientific paper then was created by some scientist who wrote the paper. Therefore, it's a personal website. So it's a silly definition. The difference between Einstein peer-reviewed papers and your website is large, so fuck you too. Again, how was it when Einstein wrote it? How was it fucking different? And again, after he was peer-reviewed, everybody ignored his papers because, frankly, they didn't understand them. And it wasn't until some scientist showed up to save the day, right? So again, that's how the fucking thing works. And is that the way it should work? We need the celebrities to show up to save the day because there's no way for credible information to be taken seriously any other way. I never said your website said anything about God. What you said is that my website was some idiotic one-sentence statement with no argument, no evidence, no logic provided. You implied that it was just some willy-nilly fart of a website, and that somehow it was different than the other 8 links they removed. I want you to explain to me how it's different than the 8 links removed in terms of its actual content, and that you're not going to fucking be able to do because you're a fucking cunt and a liar. Length of videos does not make content credible. Who made that argument? I'm saying it's a substantial argument that's being made. It's not one sentence. It's 40 hours of video explaining in detail the physics being defended. That's a substantial contribution. You want to say it's insubstantial, you want to say it's not, then I think you're full of fucking shit and a liar. Because I don't think there's any way you could look at all those videos and watch them and say this is all crap. Because it's obviously not all crap. Anybody who knew anything about physics would know it's not all crap. The rules of Wikipedia do not apply only to top of pages, so placement at the bottom is irrelevant. Oh, that's just the stupidest goddamn thing you can possibly say. Where it's placed on the page is significant. Okay, yeah, it's really a big difference between being the #1 result at Google and the #100th result in Google. Because guess what? 3 million people might see the #1 result, and 3 will see the #100 result. So it's about 1,000 to 1 difference. So again, you really believe what you just said there? You really think it doesn't matter where on the page the content is? That it shouldn't have a different standard depending on where it is on a page? God, you're such a fucking cunt of an idiot, of a loser, of a moron. The information on your webpage is personal because it is your view on the topic. So again, Einstein's view on the topic, Darwin's view on the topic. By this standard, everybody's just talking out of their ass, and we can't tell the difference between an argument being defended by evidence and logic and just somebody saying, I like gooey soft things. And not corroborated by independent sources. What independent sources were the 8 other links? What other sources were the 9 other links? What other corroborating sources? Where? Show me one source corroborating one of the 9 other fucking sites in the category. Show me one corroborating website. Show it to me, you fucker. Or be what you are, a fucking cunt liar. Yeah. So, the bigger question is, why are the editors dragging... Oh, you're saying the same shit over again? I have an entire wiki page removed for the very thing Gary is complaining about was done to him. Wiki has standards of proof. Yeah, well, what? Apparently you posted what? Show me what you posted so I can laugh at it. And I can show you the difference between what I posted and what you posted. How about that? Yeah, let's do that, Shelley. I didn't meet those standards of proof equal. They took my page down. Let me see it. What page are you talking about? Again, let me see the comparison. Once Gary has his work reviewed, he may have to pay for a review service. I didn't even know. Do they exist? Where are they? Show me the link. Then he can resubmit the page. Well, I'm not going to bother resubmitting it once I'm king of the fucking world. I'm not going to give a shit about Wikipedia. I'm going to fart on their goddamn motherfucking head whenever I have the opportunity. I'll just point out how the internet's goddamn suck. Not sure what benefit comes from threatening and name-calling. Well, guess what? That's what they're doing, you fucking dumb cunt. Man, you are really so fucking stupid. Not sure what benefit comes from threatening and name-calling. Gee, I don't know. They're calling me a terrorist of their website. That was a lie. Then they said stuff like nonsense when they haven't read any of it. They haven't looked at any of it, but they know it's nonsense somehow. Oh, it's not their problem you don't like their standards. No, it's their problem that their standards are duplicitous, dishonest, inconsistent, unfair. Please explain what I did wrong when they have removed, again, how are the standards the same standards? I show up, there's 10 links, 9 links in the category. I post a 10th link the next day. Now there's 2 links in the category. Explain to me what fucking happened. So it's just a coincidence that I showed up. When I showed up is when they decided to change the standards, huh? It's just a coincidence. Is that what it is? No, it isn't. It's a deliberate effort to harass me and kill 8 other people's links to do it. They fucked 8 other people in the ass to fuck me. You can't figure that out, then you're too motherfucking stupid. Fuck you. Yeah. Let's see. Skanky Fish. Wikipedia articles must not contain original research. Again, you don't really understand this, do you? Sources. I'm a source, okay? It's not original research when it's fucking published. I published it, you stupid retards. They mean by original research means you don't sit there and give your opinion in the wiki paragraphs. You don't just write shit because I did some personal research and I'm going to publish in the wiki page. It has to be published somewhere else first. Gee. You're just so fucking stupid. This is just amazing. These fucking idiots don't even understand their own rules. Alright, prohibition against or means that all material added to the record must be attributable to a reliable published source. Yeah, exactly. It must be a published source. I don't know. This concept of reliable is a little bit funky. Like, what exactly is reliable on the internet? Even if not actually attributed. What do you mean, actually not? It has to be attributed. The verifiability policy says that an inline citation to a reliable source must be provided for all quotations. Well, again, it's published, you stupid idiot! And the quotation is merely a description of a link. And for anything else challenging or likely to be challenged, but a source must exist even if the material that was never challenged. Yes, the source does exist. It's a public videos on YouTube. Jesus. There you go, Inmendum. You lose. Yeah, no, there you go. You're an idiot. If you want to dispute about the previous link that were posted, that's fine, but yours clearly fails to pass the standard. Exactly how did theirs pass the standard? I've just pointed that out. They are not sourced any different than mine is sourced. It's an independent publication that has no other sourcing, that has no other references. That's their publication. There's no discussion page. There's no attribution page. There's no fucking Nature read us and they said we're brilliant. There's nothing saying that this material is in any way has any merit whatsoever. It's exactly the same as the material I published. Exactly the same. So just keep lying. And I will also add that your presumption that 40 hours of unreviewed material, again, theirs is unreviewed material, is a valid contribution is blatantly stupid. No, it's blatantly stupid for you to just keep lying that somehow the other pages were reviewed by something. They weren't. Since you have no credibility, well, you have no credibility because you're a fucking liar. It is plausible that your videos could be 50% porn clips. Who said that? Where could that be possible? You can't. You have no capacity. So if somebody publishes a page, you can only read the first page, and any other links they post, you're not going to look at them. So they could all be porn links. Is that going to be your argument? Gee, you're just too big a suck of fish. Okay. You ranting about photons swimming like schools of fish. Well, again, if you can't get metaphors, Einstein is saying that nothing, okay, is making something move. Okay, Einstein says that space is curved and bent. Well, that doesn't work in 3 dimensions. Think about it for a minute, fuck brain. How exactly does it do this bending, curving thing in 3 dimensions? Oh, that's right, it couldn't possibly do that. It's a convergence. That means it's a sucking, okay? And it's a sucking in all directions at once, you fucking retard. So his fucking metaphor is a piece of shit. Where at least my school of fish metaphor, under the qualification that the fish can get no bigger or no smaller, and that the fish always travel the same speed, is perfectly fucking analogous to the reality. And you're just too stupid to understand that because you're a dumb motherfucking cunt. There is no way for us to know what is actually in your content unless we waste hours of our time watching you blather. Well, you can keep saying that, but there's no other way to know what's in any of those other pages without reading miles and miles and miles of their gibberish and their fucking equations and their blah, 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 blah. How do you know any of that stuff has any kind of credibility whatsoever? It doesn't actually. That's the fucking irony. And my videos are really a lot more easy to understand. But I'll be demonstrating you to be just a little weaselly cunt eventually. So, haha on you. You picked the wrong side because I will just humiliate you in the future. Blah, blah, blah. Whenever I feel like it, I'll just say, hey, go piss on that guy's head. And people will do it because I said so. The great tragedy is that nobody dares to ask that question anymore. This guy. Four comments on one video. Fuck you, you're an idiot. Wikipedia is a ghetto full of passive-aggressive goofbags. Exactly true, yes. This is pathetic and moronic rant. Let's see. It's like he's listened to too many generic stock shock jocks and really fantasizes himself as one but doesn't have the wit to do it. Whatever that means, but fine. You can think so, asshole, but I'd say I'm probably the most genuine person on fucking YouTube, asswipe. That's the joke here. I'm actually a real person, where the rest of these assholes are just pretending, lying to you, pretending to be somebody. He has no idea what a personal website is. Again, you think you know. I already demonstrated what a personal website is. Like I said, I mean, I could just go through the Google links forever. I could just keep saying, load more, load more, load more, and I'll just keep showing you that none of these personal websites have anything to do with any theories. None of them are going to explain the theory of evolution. Or what a blog is. Well, I know what a blog is, and guess what? My website is not a journal. A blog is a journal. Newsflash. The word personal just means pertaining to a specific person. That is the most... Exactly. The word personal just means pertaining to a specific person. Again, what on my website has anything to do with a person? It's completely and entirely a defense of a theory. Like my personal opinion. Again, it's not my personal opinion, okay? It's a premised, argued, defended theory. You don't really call the theory of evolution Darwin's personal opinion. You know better. That would be ludicrous. I have personal opinions about all sorts of stuff. Who cares? But none of those are any importance to a encyclopedia unless I am an accredited expert. That, again, is just bullshit. I mean, if you really want to go by that standard, I'm just saying that you're going to leave an awful lot of valuable information off the table, because a lot of people who aren't accredited experts have done experiments, have witnessed things happening, have valid testimony to bring to the table. And you want to pretend they don't, well, go ahead and pretend they don't, but I think you're an ignorant asshole for thinking so. You're a censor, right? 8 links have been censored because of this conversation. You think those 8 links should be censored. I think they shouldn't be. The analogy with Einstein is just ignorant. Einstein published in peer-reviewed journals, and again, everybody ignored them until Schrödinger or Planck, one of those 2 guys, showed up and saved the day. Alright, why am I enough of this? This is hilarious. You need to take them to court and get your web pages all over Wikipedia. Yeah, well, whatever. I do need to take them to court because somebody needs to inform them that they're not allowed to just write up any kind of crackpot bullshit policy and say, there, catch-22, we'll insult you, we'll abuse you, and then when you try to fight back, we'll call you an aggressor. Amazing. And then we'll talk about boomerang policy. So if anybody defends you, see, they already threatened another guy. The other guy who was defending my link, now they've threatened him. And they've used this boomerang policy. So they basically said, yeah, just stay out of it because we'll boomerang you, okay? If you defend somebody, we'll hurt you. Because we're the gang. Alright? They're just a gang. They're a gang of thugs. Little nerdy thugs who have no power in their lives and are just totally abusing power that they have at this silly little fucking organization that they get to play whatever hanky-panky in. Okay, Walter again. Oh gosh, how stupid must you be? Undocumented science is not grounds for publishable work. Again, undocumented. Every one of the other links was undocumented. Anyone can make these kinds of claims and steal them from anyone. Do you not understand? No, I don't really understand. Do you think the other 8 people stole their theories that they were publishing? They're published under their names. I'm published under a screen name. My accounts have an email address attached to them. Google knows who I am. I'm reachable. I can be sued for copyright violations. It's a pretty secure publication, all right? You know, they'll keep records for a long time, so I can't like delete it and run away or do any of that kind of crap. I'm accountable, so you're just a liar. Again, just playing a game here. Again, Wikipedia doesn't worry about any of this crap when it publishes shit, so just keep lying. You're just making this crap up. Oh, here's the exception for the content we want to censor. Then we just apply all these fucking wacky rules that we don't apply anywhere else. Just like your terms of service. Your editors are allowed to violate the terms of service, but if the guy who just shows up makes one infraction, you block him. I mean, you're just hypocrites and duplicitous motherfucking hypocrites. You're overtly hypocritical. Containing content of a personal nature means only by your... No, I already read this. That part's just totally incomprehensible. I don't know what the fuck he was saying. So anyway, we're done. So it's mostly Wikipedia, but I'm just going to call it a comment video. What the hell? Okay, until next time.